Today we're working on installing the floor that we designed for the Spec 7 chassis on the C2 Corvette. This one's on a 67. Right now we're just dry fitting everything, making sure everything is where it needs to be, making sure the body's cut where it needs to be. And one of the things that we try never to use is screws. And the main reason for that is no matter what you do, the fix or the repair is going to come back through. May not be for a month, maybe 3 years, 10 years, but sooner or later you'll see that where that screw hole was. So we always try to think outside the box and how to actually push the floor where we want it, how to support different things, and to be able to put the floor and glue it in place. So one thing that we've used, some of these clamps, you can use them to push. They'll pull and they'll push. So these are normally really handy. And then that way, when you're gluing it, you put your epoxy or anything, gives you a little bit more variant once you get your glue and stuff in there. Sometimes if you have a board, it'll end up being too long because of the epoxy taking up a little bit of the space. And if you don't happen to have those style clamps and you have a lot of just the normal ones where the ends don't remove, you actually can turn the clamps around and just run the clamps backwards. And if the clamps are too short, you can even just take a small block of wood, like right here, and put it in and drill a hole in the end of the block and put it in there. And then for really long pieces that you need, what I always like trying to use is we use a board, and we found that you can take a bolt and put a bolt and a nut and a washer. Then you can adjust the bolt out to get whatever tension you want to push on the floor, instead of having to always try to cut the board, you know, right exactly as you're going to need it when you're installing it. And then another good thing to do is go through and number all your boards and put witness marks so everything goes back when you dry fit everything. So you kind of have some reference marks where you had clamps, because, you know, you pull it out, it's all going to change a little bit. So that just gives you a rough idea how we do stuff when we start fitting stuff before we glue it, before we grind anything, before we finish cut anything. We always dry fit anything that we're doing. It's very important.